we have won our PrizePicks entries for the last 4 events. We are absolutely on a tear. We have been printing money, and let's try to continue that success into UFC 300. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my favorite PrizePicks entry for UFC 300. If you don't know what PrizePicks is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say more or less than the numbers you see on the screen, and you can 10 times your money, 20 times your money, 50 times your money, or 100 times your money, depending on the entry you build and depending on the sport that you play. It is a ton of fun. It is super easy, and they will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/prizepicks. Use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use to build an entry. And then if you win, you can withdraw all of that money. You can 10 times that money, withdraw it, go buy yourself the best sandwich anybody has ever had in their entire life. WeWantPicks.com/prizepicks, promo code WWP. Get the free money, build yourself an entry. You don't even need to use your real money. Just use the free money. Win and withdraw. No weird rollovers, no weird commitments. WeWantPicks.com/prizepicks, promo code WWP. I am filming this on Thursday, but I built my PrizePicks entry on Tuesday when these lines dropped. So premium members have had access to this all week. I have checked the lines. One of them is missing. They took it off the board. It was probably too good, but we're going to go ahead and build an entry anyway. Obviously, the first thing that you should do is do more than a half a significant strike on Justin Gaethje. They're doing you a favor. They are just giving you a gift. They're saying, here you go, should be 100. They cross it out, they said a half. So that is literally a freebie. My recommendation this week is build multiple entries. Do a couple of 2. Do a couple of 2-point entries and just have Justin Gaethje more on a half significant strike in every single one of them, because that's a guarantee. So now all you have to do is pick the other side correctly. That's my recommendation to you. You are welcome in advance. But let's go ahead and work our way down. If we're looking at other significant strike lines, there are a few that make sense to me. Obviously, Justin Gaethje more than a half makes a lot of sense. Deiveson Figueiredo, 37.5, that is a low number. But I'm going to leave it alone because this fight could be over early. This fight could be striking only because Deiveson could come in here, think that he's going to take down Cody Garbrandt, not be able to take down Cody Garbrandt, and then end up in a striking match and he blows past this number. But we'll leave that alone. Diego Lopez, similar situation. 39.5 is a low number, and he will go out there and he will strike. But he's probably going to be on the losing end of those striking exchanges and then have to go to grappling, which we haven't quite seen just yet. Alexander Rakic, 42.5. That is the only other one here that I am considering. I don't have it yet. We'll work our way through. But I do like that because, frankly, he does land pretty well. He hangs out on the outside. He's a good technical striker, okay volume. But Yuri Prochazka is very tough, and he'll absorb whatever punishment. We'll leave that there for now. And then finally, what I will absolutely have in my lineup is Bo Nickel, 14.5 significant strikes. That seems like a very low number. Angelo, you don't think this guy lands 15 punches? No, I don't. He's never gotten past 8. He has not gotten past 8 yet, and his opponent isn't exactly the most durable guy in the UFC. Cody Garbrandt, his opponent, is going to come out guns blazing, maybe knock out Bo Nickel, maybe jump guillotine and get it over with early, or get taken down and finished. Either way, Bo Nickel is not going to basically double the most amount of significant strikes he's ever landed in a fight. Not in this matchup, not against the guy who very often does not get out of the first round. So we're going to go ahead and hop on the less there. If we look at fight time minutes, you will see some PFL lines are in here as well. If you're a PFL guy, you can add your own PFL juice here. I don't love any of these lines. The Bobby Green, Jim Miller fight, that absolutely should go to a decision. But you know what? One of them's 40, the other one's 37, and one of them's been knocked out cold 2 times in his last 5 fights. Jalen Turner, 7.5 fight minutes. That's another one. He's fighting an older vet, a tried and true kind of guy, but Jalen Turner has never won a decision. Renato Moicano's been knocked out plenty of times. We're going to leave that alone. Diego Lopez, similar story. Bo Nickel, we have the strikes. I trust the strikes more than the fight time. 22.5 fight minutes for Justin Gaethje. That's probably a more play, but we're going to go ahead and leave that alone. Let's go cruise on to strikes. This is PFL only. We already did significant strikes. So if you do want to add some PFL stuff in here, this is total strikes. The difference between significant strikes and total strikes is literally somebody's opinion. There's somebody sitting there with a clicker and they go, that was significant. That was significant. Total strikes is an easier number to work with. So if you are a PFL kind of guy and you understand PFL, significant strikes is much easier than significant strikes because this is everything. Every little pitter patter against the cage. When I do total strikes and not significant strikes, I love when we get wrestlers because the wrestlers will just do little pitter patter on top. The wrestlers will get pitter pattered from the person defending the takedowns, and every single one of those little tiny strikes count. So the lower ones, I love doing higher on total. Fantasy score, they have their own scoring system. I will show this to you right here. If we're looking at MMA, the PrizePicks fantasy scoring system is a bit different than what you might be used to. Significant strikes are 0.6 points, which is actually a pretty big number. Takedowns are 6 total points. If you defend takedowns in PrizePicks, you get points. So if you think Cody Garbrandt wins this fight because he defends a whole bunch of takedowns, he could score a lot of points in that fight. Same with Calvin Kattar. If Calvin Kattar defends those absolutely god-awful Aljamain Sterling takedowns, he's going to put up some very real numbers here. Obviously, you get bonuses by finish depending on how quickly a fight is ended. I don't usually like fantasy score. There's nothing I love here. If I had a Calvin Kattar, I would throw that in there because I do think he can defend a bunch of takedowns and put up some very real numbers. I don't necessarily love any of these. I like to find a juiced favorite that I think loses. But frankly, every single one of these favorites can win their fights and can put up those numbers. So we're going to leave that alone. And takedowns is the last one that we will look at. What I did have here is Deiveson Figueiredo. They had 1.5 takedowns on him. If you were a premium member, you saw that line. And if you liked it, you jumped on it. They have taken that off the board. That no longer exists. I like the less on that. I don't think Deiveson's going to take down Cody Garbrandt twice. Cody Garbrandt's not a guy that gets taken down, let alone multiple times by somebody 10 pounds lighter. What I do like here is the more than 3.5 takedowns for Yan Xiaonan. And by that, I mean Weili Zhang. More than 3.5 takedowns for Weili Zhang. I think she's going to take down Yan Xiaonan over and over again. If we look at Weili's last fight, she had 6 takedowns. 6 takedowns against Amanda Lemos. And I think it's going to be more the same in this fight. Yan Xiaonan's a very good striker. She's a technical striker. She's getting a little more aggressive now that she's moved to Team Alpha Male, and she's staying busy, staying in your face. And Weili could hang for a little bit in the striking and then may say, there's such a giant grappling advantage here, I'm just going to do that and get the takedowns. We need 4 takedowns. Sounds like a lot, but it's a 25-minute fight. She had 6 takedowns in her last fight. I have already built this entry. Let me go ahead and show it to you. Here is that Deiveson Figueiredo line that no longer exists. This is no longer an option, but we built a lineup without it. We got Justin Gaethje more than that half of a significant strike. Again, my recommendation to you is build 3, 4, 5. Build as many entries as you want to build and just do 2 entries. Just do 2 leg entries. Do Justin Gaethje half a significant strike and then Weili on takedowns. Then another one. Justin Gaethje half a significant strikes. Bo Nickel fewer than 14.5. And I would do it like that because that's a free line for you. But here are the ones that I like with what we have on the board. Justin Gaethje, obviously. Deiveson Figueiredo, if that pops back up, I don't think he's going to get all the takedowns that they think he will. Weili Zhang, I do think she'll get all the takedowns that she wants. And then Bo Nickel, I don't think he's landing 14.5 significant strikes. Again, he hasn't gotten past 8. He's not going to almost double in this fight. He's fighting a guy that isn't the most durable. And he's probably going to come forward, see the heat coming from Cody Brundage, and then get it to the cage, work in a takedown, and go from there. Guys, if you like this entry, fantastic. If you don't, that's fine too. Get your free money. WeWantPicks.com/PrizePicks, promo code WWP.